to our guest here, Paolo von Schirach. He's the president of the Global Policy Institute, a professor at Bay Atlantic University. I want to talk to you about the state of American democracy 1 year on. Where are we?
We're not in a good place, because if almost half the country, as all polls indicate, does not believe that the man in the White House is the legitimately elected president of the United States, we have a problem. So can this be healed? Can this false narrative of the stolen election be finally rectified and people see the light and say, okay, so sorry, we were wrong. Now we understand. Mr. Biden won the election and he'll stand for election maybe again in 2024, or he won't, and let the best man or woman win, in the next election. This is how a democracy works, not by denouncing the winner saying he stole the elections.
And so what does that mean in terms of moving forward? Of course, we know the Justice Department has launched its biggest criminal investigation ever. And we have the January 6th committee on Capitol Hill that wants to hold some former officials accountable. But beyond accountability, how does this country move forward?
It's hard to say, because again, the healing has to be in the, if I can use this expression, in the souls of the people. If people are not convinced, there are people who know exactly what happened, that the elections were held, that there were some challenges. There was recount and recount of the recount, and 60 plus legal challenges in various courts across the United States. The Attorney General of the United States, Bill Barr, a loyalist of Mr. Trump, who looked into potential irregularities, he came back and he said, I found nothing. And all that notwithstanding, with all these mountains of evidence proving that the election was a normal election, people are still not convinced. We have a real problem, because this country needs a degree of comity among the different parties. Yes, we have differences, Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, liberals, progressives, what have you. But if we don't even agree on the fundamentals, we have a problem going forward. And the democracy, forgive the cliche, is fragile. This is an old democracy, but that doesn't mean it's immune from the diseases that have unfortunately affected other democracies around the world.
Which brings us to one of the things Joe Biden pointed out in his remarks earlier in the day about the rest of the world looking at America and seeing that even this country grows autocrats. What's the international perspective here 1 year on after what happened on Capitol Hill?
Of course, the rest of the world was aghast, I suppose. Most people around the world watching what happened on January 6th last year and say, oh, come on, this cannot happen. That's America. This is not some Central American, fake republic where presidents come and go and there are riots and generals taking over in the armies and what have you. And so they thought maybe we're finished. America's done. So this way, we prove to the world that notwithstanding this terrible events of January 6th, 2021, America is resilient, and there is a fundamental strength. There's a ballast here that keeps everything together. But that is fundamentally, I think, the shared values of the American people.
Well, thank you very much. That's Paolo von Schirach, the president of the Global Policy Institute.